Hey, what's going on? It's the Gem Drafter Thursday show for May 26th, 2022. I am Newts, and I'm joined by my co-host, Ronald Cavalier.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Thank you guys for listening today. And if you're on Apple, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. If you do leave a review on Apple, I will read it during the podcast announcements. If you're on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. You have no idea how much that helps the show. So please do that for us, guys. And if you did, thank you once again. If you took the time to do those couple things for us, we greatly appreciate it. Yes, thumbs up. So what's going on, Corey? What's going on?
Not much, not much. I'm ready to get into some dynasty talk. We were talking about our days and how long they've been dealing with kids, dealing with dirty dishes. Let's deal with the fun stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, I have a new section added to the show sheet. It's the announcements. Here's the
I see that.
announcements.
Oh,
Oh, it's not playing. Dang it. I was trying to play my cricket sound
is that
effect.
crickets?
There's no
I heard
announcements,
crickets.
so we
Oh,
can move on.
just us.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't have it on mine. So maybe it did play
Oh,
on
I
the
heard it.
podcast.
It played.
All right. Cool. Anyway,
Awesome.
it wasn't playing through my headphones, so I didn't hear it. So if you guys heard that, I just
Okay.
sounded like that's awesome. Let's get into the news feed though. There was a lot of minor news this week. Like a
hmm
lot of people would say non-news. So the first one I want to talk about is kind of just I put this in here just because it's kind of funny. Apparently, CD Lamb said he grew half an inch and added 10 pounds of muscle during this offseason. How old is CD Lamb? 23, right?
Uh, yeah, he's past his growth spurt. That's for sure.
I don't know. I is can you grow taller when you're at the age of 23?
Not to my knowledge. Maybe he's wearing bigger insoles in his shoes or something. I don't know. That's
Or
crazy.
maybe he was slouching before.
Yeah, he could have been. He was definitely a sloucher. I could see
I've
CD
definitely
being a
been
sloucher.
I've definitely been a slouch victim
Oh
before.
yeah.
But like, so jokes aside, people usually don't like to see players add muscle because of speed concerns. Then, is that? Do you feel that way, or are you? I don't think
Uh, not
about
at
it. Just
not at 10 pounds.
yeah,
If
and just the
he's
type of player he is, he's not like a speed player.
right, yeah. You used to get pushing like 20, 30 pounds. Then I would be like, you might get slowed down a little bit on that one. But yeah.
So that just kind of like can push us into a whole conversation about a quick conversation about the Dallas wide receiver core. Like, so apparently James Washington was spotted in a walking boot on his left foot. So not good for him. I know it's still early in the offseason, but so then it's Gallup coming back from an ACL still. So it's basically Lamb, Tolbert, and I don't even know who is after that on the depth chart for them. The Cedric Wilson left town.
hmm
So that might be something interesting to explore on the waiver wire. But I just wanted to mention the last two healthy seasons for Dak really surprised me. These statistics. So last year he had 4,400 yards and 37 touchdowns. I didn't realize he had 37 touchdowns. And then obviously in the previous year he had the fractured ankle, and then the year before
hmm
that he had almost 5,000 yards, 4,900 and 30 touchdowns. So it's making me feel kind of bad about not owning any shares of Dak Prescott right now. But
Oh, you don't?
no, actually, I was in on Dak the off season before that 4,900 yard, 30 touchdown season, and I was getting him in
Mm.
like the fourth, fifth round of startups. And then when he pushed up to the first, I just cashed in.
Oh, sure.
I did that with Lamar too. I had a bunch of leagues where I had Lamar and Dak, and I kind of at this point wish that I would have just held on to both of them.
hmm Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. If anybody gets close to an elite quarterback, unless you're gonna massively overpay me, I'm not gonna send them to you. I don't care how bad the roster. I mean, it has to be incredibly, incredibly bad. Like literally, it is just the quarterbacks on that roster. And even then, I'm still gonna want a king's ransom for those guys.
So when we look at the piece of the pie for like what kind of target share do you think that CeeDee Lamb's going to command from Dak if Dak's a 4,400 30 touchdown guy?
Let me pull up what he did last year. I want to say he was somewhere in the 17 20 range, just off the top of my head. And Cooper leaving town, Gallup has the late knee surgery, so we don't know exactly when he's going to be back. And then at Jalen Tolbert, but he was also spotted injury, but it sounds like they are talking just being safe with him. And then Dalton Schultz as well.
Yeah, completely forgot
Sorry,
about Dalton Schultz. You're having some
yeah, I'm
connection
just,
issues. You're breaking up a little bit.
oh, sorry, I'm just stuck. I can pull the page up.
No, that's fine. So say CeeDee Lamb has a 25% market share, which is I think kind of conservative. That's like 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns,
Sure.
which is solid, but it's not a league-winning performance.
Right. Right. So he last year was at 19% for his target share. 120 targets, 79 receptions, 6 touchdowns, and he was at 2.06 yards per route run, and that 2 is elite. Not a lot of people hit that, so that's a huge sign. That's a great sign, and I think so. Amari had 18%. Schultz has 16% in games played, so I don't know. You can take. He's definitely going to break 20%. I think 25 is probably safe, like what you just threw out there, to be a realistic, call for Dak or not Dak. I'm sorry, for Lamb. And and then it also depends on the efficiency. But Schultz is a red zone problem. He had
I
8
guess
touchdowns.
I shouldn't have said conservative when I said 25%. But you got to think with the volume of that
Mhm.
offense, like I don't know. It seemed like the defense was really good, so I didn't understand why they had to have such a high volume of offense. Like it seemed like they were in so many shootout games over the last 3 years,
Yeah.
which really like propped up their fantasy value for all the pieces on that team.
It's that defensive philosophy, though. I mean, they live by the blitz. They live and die by the blitz in man coverage. So, I mean, you can get burned by it, and that's how you wind up in these shootouts.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, are you other than Lamb and Tolbert and the running backs and Schultz, like you're not worried about anybody else in that room right now?
No, not nobody comes to mind at the moment. What Julio's still sitting out there as a free agent. Um, that I wouldn't
Fuller.
really. Oh, Will Fuller's sitting out there, but I
Yeah.
mean, those two haven't played a whole season in who knows how long. So,
I wonder if Dallas is just content with, Tolbert and Lamb and then
mm,
just riding that train until Gallup recovers.
sure.
I see that being the scenario. I don't know if they're gonna sign somebody, but anyway, a little bit of Cowboys wide receiver room chat there, but we can move on to the Seattle news of Rashad Penny. Pete Carroll said he's resting a slight hamstring issue, and then I know kind of a popular opinion of Seattle of the Seattle backfield about Chris Carson is that a lot of people are going hot take. I think it was Payson maybe said, forgot who said, I heard, oh, it was Mitch actually. I think it was Mitch from Dynasty Theory said he doesn't think Carson's going to play ever again with the neck
I don't think
surgery.
so either. I don't think
So
so
then
either.
things become very interesting for Kenny Walker.
I'm excited.
So you wrote that's very familiar about all this. What do you mean exactly by that?
So if you've ever seen Back to the Future, when Biff, is seeing Marty McFly do his little chase scene again, and he's old Biff, and he's already done it as young Biff, and he says, "Oh, there's something very familiar about all this." This seems like we always, every year with Penny, there's always this like, "Oh, he could be so great if he is," but then, oh, there's a hamstring issue. Oh, there's a knee issue. There's always like these little things just constantly popping up. That's all I mean by that is that it's not surprising. It's
Yeah,
it's Rashad Penny. I mean,
always hurt.
hmm
You know, Penny was one of those guys that because he got first round draft capital, he shot up dynasty rookie draft boards. Like I saw people taking him at 102 that year, which was crazy to me. Like I thought he looked all right, but just the small school, the 1 year sample size, like I wasn't digging it. But something interesting I dug up here for Seattle was last year. I know that Russell Wilson was hurt for a slight stretch there, but they were actually 26th in rushing attempts per game last year
really,
and 18th in 2020. So like people
huh?
view them as this run heavy offense, but actually, and I have it right here. Uh, so yeah, sort 2020, they were 26th, like behind the Giants, behind Houston, behind LA. Top 5 was Tennessee, Philadelphia, Baltimore, New Orleans, Indy.
Hmm.
Um,
But
it's
I
it's a difference of it's a difference of so the top being Tennessee, 32 rushing attempts per game, down to Seattle is at 24. So it's not like
oh
it's like a
no,
crazy amount, but it's eight carries, you know.
sure, yeah, and I definitely thought with what the image I have in my head of the Seahawks, they definitely ran the ball more, and they would be higher on that list. Now, I'm interested to see the attempts in the games without Russell Wilson, though. How much did you know that those placements of the rush attempts have to do with actually having an elite quarterback? Because now Drew
Yeah.
Lock and Geno Smith, I think, they go the route of that we saw the Bengals do a few years ago. Like, why are they still running the ball? They're just running the clock out on the season. They just want it to be over. Get in and get out of these games as quickly as possible.
Yeah, there's a lot more context that has to be I don't have like splits or anything like that for the
Sure.
rushing attempts. It's just a general team stat for like, I say per game, but it's really like a reflection of the whole season. Like, okay, so if they had 8 less attempts
Right.
per game, then that's eight times 17,
hmm
opportunity for the whole season. So just something to think about. And if we're just talking about Kenneth Walker and Brees Hall in the same, breath, Jets were dead last year in rushing attempts per game with
Oh
22
yeah.
and 21st in 2020. So I am
That,
personally like before even this Penny hamstring issue, I was like, I can't believe that like Sleeper, how Sleeper you can click on the player and it shows the starting lineup for that team. They don't even have Kenny Walker on
hmm
the running back list for Seattle. And I'm like, I feel like he's already the unquestioned starter for that team. Like in my mind, like
it,
I don't think Rashad
that's
Penny's even an issue.
yeah. That's how I felt about it. I honestly kind of thought perfect landing spot for him because he gets a coach that wants to run the ball. He has Rashad Penny. Like those are non-factors really at this point. I mean, even if Penny were to perform, I'm pretty sure he would let him walk right out the door after this year.
Yeah, because they spent such high draft capital on Walker.
Right.
Absolutely. So we're in alignment there.
We
Uh,
are.
I wish I would have put in like some sort of like pivots or opportunities for Kenny Walker, but I think it's kind of oh, you had one in here, didn't you? I'm gonna skip down to that. You had for the dynasty trades. I'm gonna spoil
Oh
that.
yeah.
You traded for
Go
Kenny
ahead.
Walker. What was the league context of this trade? And then you can talk the trade out. It's like a 12
Let
team
me go
flex.
glance at it. Yeah, basically everything I play is 12 team super flex. Okay. So let's see if I can pull the team up really quick.
So I'll just lay out the
I
trade
should
then while
really
you
start putting the league names. Yeah.
so it's probably a 12 team super flex. You gave up Jamison Williams, your boy, Devonta
Yeah.
Smith, and Rashad White, who I don't even really like or care about that much. I know other people do a lot. And you gave up those three guys for Kenneth Walker and a 23 first. Seems like you stole that deal kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt really good about it. I really wanted to get rid of some Devonta Smith. I can't even find the league. It doesn't matter. Um, it's probably like halfway a competitor, halfway not, knowing me. Yeah, it was more about getting the 23 first. For Devonta, I want to lessen the shares that I have. If Hertz is going to stick around, I don't think he will. Hey, Cat. um, But yeah, him picking Jameson Williams at my pick hurt me a little bit. I thought maybe he would fall a little bit further. I could try to trade back in. But overall, I was really happy with the return on it because, like you said, what's Rashad White? I mean, I'm intrigued by Rashad White, but at the same time, how long is Brady around? Can he even take work away from Leonard Fournette in the time that Brady's there for it to even matter? So I have a hard time caring about Rashad White. So it was pretty easy throwaway pick for me. Um, but yeah, and I traded one of my boys to get the other boy, so that's okay.
Absolutely. And like when you break this down into parts, it's like, yeah, you got the 23 first for Devonta Smith, and then you gave up Rashad White to go up from Williams to Walker. Like that's a
Right.
steal in my opinion.
Yeah, I had to do some creative negotiations in the DMs, that's for sure. That was a long, drawn out process on that one.
So that was a great get on your part for that trade. And I'm going to move
Thank you.
us along here to your boy, Matthew Stafford, formerly of your Lions. Apparently he's sitting
Yes.
out right now just because of the elbow has been bothering him. And I think he had like either not surgery, but what was it? Had a shot injection in his arm right
Yeah,
after the Super Bowl.
injection.
I mean,
Hmm.
Stafford's basically like a taller Brett Favre, right? Like, I mean, like he's pretty tough. I mean, you don't want to hear about this type of stuff. It definitely
No.
doesn't sound good. And he's had the back stuff in the past. I'm not like super worried about him, but one thing I would be considering is like, does this stuff hinder his longevity? Like, there's no doubt that he's going to be good for like 2, 3, 4 years, but like, is he really going to make it to that age 38, 39, or is he going to be like a Ben Roethlisberger where like his body's so beat up at that point that like it's not his performance starts failing and you're really like holding on to something that's not there anymore.
Mhm. So I think it could be a Ben Roethlisberger type end for Stafford, just because of like you alluded to the toughness, just like Brett Favre. Like the dude, like I think you're gonna have to carry this guy off the field on a stretcher to get him off the field. After all the injuries I've seen him play through in Detroit, like he's playing in seasons that don't mean anything with a broken back. Like it doesn't get much tougher than that. Um, and like you said, but when does it fall off? And I think you still have 3 to 4 years. And we had an interesting conversation a few months back about how long you think your dynasty league is actually going to last. And really, a lot more experienced people than me came in there and said usually 4 to 5 years. So, I mean, if you look at it in windows of that time frame, I think you're completely fine with Stafford right now.
Yeah, I do also. It maybe knocks him down on like a peg. Like I know the situation's really good, but maybe I'm like, oh, I like Russell Wilson a little bit more than Stafford
Hmm.
now, just because. I mean, Russell Wilson's had his fair share of injuries too. I would definitely say
Sure.
they're probably in the same tier. Like I said, definitely and probably in the same.
It's,
Uh,
uh,
bad habits die
uh,
hard. So yeah, I mean, it's like I said at the top, this is all like kind of minor news, but just something to keep an eye on. Like, if another report were to come out saying that, oh, Stafford's dealing with elbow issues and they don't know if he's going to be ready for the start of camp, then that's maybe something to be concerned about for the Rams. But as of right now, just keep an eye on it.
mhm.
So we can move on then to Mr. Terry McLaurin, who is not showing up right now for the OTAs, but everyone kind of figured that because he hasn't gotten a deal yet. And ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports that the Commanders, didn't go hard in free agency because they budgeted in the re-signing of Terry McLaurin to their cap space. We all know at this point, if you guys are avid Thursday show listeners, that Corey Ronald Cavalier does not like the Washington Commanders situation.
Oh,
So I
it's
can already kind
terrible.
of tell where you're going with this.
Yeah. I want to move him even more now. I threw a trade in here that I got done. I sent Melvin Gordon and Terry McLaurin for the 107 and the 302, and I drafted Chris Olave, and that was enough for me. I tried to get Terry McLaurin and for Olave straight, or for the pick for Olave straight up, but he wanted a little bit added on there. So, and Melvin Gordon,
Shout
that's
out
fine.
to J44 Thor from my 14 team Super Flex League, Heroes and Villains. I got Chris Olave for Terry McLaurin straight up in that one. So
Oh, you
there you
lucky son of a
go.
man.
Still like McLaurin as a talent, but I think he's more close to like my wide receiver, like 20 to 24 range for Dynasty, especially with like. So I threw in Curtis Samuel as participating in the OTAs, and he's feeling good, I guess. Like, yes, he's been kind of a nobody for fantasy purposes, but he's definitely like a good player. Like when he's on the field,
Mhm.
dude makes big plays. So now they have McLaurin, Dotson, Samuel. Is Logan Thomas going to come back from his ACL? Gibson, Brian Robinson, McKissick. They just there's so many weapons there now. It's kind of like, okay, is this team just going to be really, really bad with all these weapons? Is Carson Wentz going to exceed expectations? And then are all of the weapons just going to be like kind of annoying to deal with? I know where you stand. I'm just kind of like
Yeah,
spouting out like
sure.
different different things that could possibly happen. So it's definitely an interesting situation. Like I could see it being one of those teams where like, yes, we don't like what happened with Wentz at the end of Indianapolis and uh, Ron Rivera with all of his broken promises, and then all of a
Mhm.
sudden they come out and surprise with the wide receivers at least. Like maybe Gibson's still a letdown, but maybe the wide receivers are and Wentz exceed expectations. So we'll have to see. But it's interesting that they haven't gotten a deal done yet. Like what's the holdup? Same with
I
Debo.
mean,
The holdup.
well, I mean, Christian Kirk got, the signing or the contract that Christian Kirk got. I think that really hurt actual, studs. It's not that Christian Kirk can't play the game or anything, but he's not Debo, he's not Terry McLaurin even, so these guys are like, well, if this guy gets paid that, I'll just go down there and make what Christian Kirk's making.
Yeah, I would go as far to say like I don't hate Christian Kirk, but it's just without the injuries, I respect Curtis Samuel a lot. I would go as far to say Christian Kirk ain't no Curtis Samuel.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, and they backed up the truck and they just paid him. So now they really hurt the market for other or not hurt the market for other wide receivers, hurt the market for the teams trying to pay these wide receivers.
Yeah, definitely. And I hope fighting off another cat here. Same cat. I hope for T-Law's sake and just like all the Jaguars' sake that Kirk outperforms and really proves himself to be more than
Sure.
what he has shown in the past this year, because that would be a pleasant surprise.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think this next one was a old news kind of that just kind of popped up again. The Kadarius Toney is recovering from offseason knee surgery. But you know what's funny is I just saw I was looking up like OTA videos on YouTube, and I saw
Mhm.
Kadarius Toney at OTAs trying to catch one-handed balls with Sterling Shepard out of the, what do you call a thing that shoots the,
Jugs machine.
yeah, jugs machine. And Sterling Shepard was standing like 10 feet away from it, just like one-handing him easy. And then Kadarius Toney first try just drops it. But he was there. That's my point.
Right, right. But was this just working off to the side because Sterling Shepard? Oh, he was off to the side. Okay.
I mean, it was just they were by a jugs machine just trying to one-hand catch balls from a
Uh huh.
stand position.
Okay.
So I don't really consider that like a drill or anything.
No, no, they were probably just messing around. But that's just another red flag for me with Kadarius Toney. I was already out, so can't be any more out than I already am. Um, if you can get anything of significance, take it, run.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the 12th round of this 14-team Superflex startup, and I think he's still available, right? Oh, no, he got drafted in the 10th
Oh,
round,
oh,
right ahead of
really?
Christian Kirk, ahead of Alec Pierce, ahead of John Mechie, ahead of Tyler Lockett.
Was it Dan?
It was J.E. Fisk 24.
Oh, okay. I thought Dan would scoop him up.
Well, he went 2 picks ahead of Dan. He was probably looking there because Dan,
Oh,
Ramondre Stevenson and Baker Mayfield, excuse me.
okay.
Anyway, yeah, we're both pretty much out on Kadarius Toney, so kind of
Yeah.
non-news. Um,
Hmm.
and it looks like you don't care about this next one, Amari
No,
Rogers.
not really.
Said he's in the best shape of his life. I mean, four
Good job.
year 4-year college guy. Yeah, yeah. I wish I was in the
Right. I mean,
I'm
be
definitely
awesome.
not. Uh, Packers wide receiver coach said Amari Rogers is in the best shape of his life. I mean, I don't think he's a bad player. I just don't think he's
Yeah.
crazy good enough to like stand out. I could be wrong. I mean, he could replace Cobb in the slot this year. It could be Watson and Watkins on the outside, and then Rogers in the slot, and
Hmm.
he could eat. But
It it's
it's not a
completely
risk.
possible. No.
If I have him or if he's free, and there's nobody else better that I want to pick up, sure.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's kind
Right.
of not.
Yeah. Agreed. Yep.
Same with this next one,
Yeah.
Tyler Kroft being signed by the 49ers. I actually think this is more of a deal than Rodgers and Tony, honestly, as far as news, because like
Hmm.
Ross Dwelly never really done anything. Kittle, he's he's missed some games. Like I think people give Kittle a bad injury rap when like he has played 15 and 16 game seasons before. But I think Croft like kind of drops in as that like second receiving option at tight end for them.
It's
So
it's
if go ahead.
Oh, it's possible. I think Croft has a pretty lengthy injury history as well, too, though. I feel like I heard his name a few years ago, but then, nothing because he was hurt, and then he'll pop back up again. Um, and I think he had some preseason hype this past year with Zach Wilson, and then wound up hurt again. I had him on a bunch of rosters for some odd reason, but yeah, don't care. I mean, if you want to pick him up because Kittle is Kittle and he's probably going to miss a game here or there, sure. But other than that, nah.
I want to look up how old Tyler Croft is real quick, but
He's old. He's older
my
than you think.
yeah, he's 29 going on 30.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely good enough to, be a flyer tight end. My whole thing with Tyler Croft is like, okay, start 2 tight end leagues. I usually like to get 1 or 2 stud tight ends and then have like, my roster be constructed where I feel comfortable at the other positions so I can have like, depending on your league's roster size, like I like to have a bunch
Mhm.
of fly tight ends, so I would feel comfortable like having Croft as an end of roster player that you maybe fills in at your tight end 2 slot from time to time, like
Sure.
2 or 3 weeks out of the year. So I'm basically just saying like it is non-news, but I don't feel like he's irrelevant quite yet. Just just yet.
Oh, yeah, and I can see the intrigue in the two tight end league, because it's almost impossible to acquire any sort of tight end in a two tight end league. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, if you could pick him up for free or trade a fifth rounder for him or something, I have no idea. I don't even know where
No,
you would be. He would be
don't trade
valued.
anything for him. You don't trade anything for him.
I just throw three, fours, and fives around like they're nothing. So ones and twos, I'm a little more cautious with. But my threes, fours, and fives, if you want it, just for me to get a deal done, here, take them. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna jump down to Kyler Murray not showing up for OTAs. Kind of makes sense because he hasn't gotten a deal yet. Um, Not really much to talk about there. What do you think?
No, I think it's the same thing. I think it's a contract. The team seems to be coming out saying the things you would want the team to say. Kyler hasn't deleted any more photos, unfollowing of Instagrams for us to all freak out about or panic about. Um, so yeah, I think it's pretty standard for anybody negotiating, like we talked about with Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, it's pretty much par for the course for a quarterback that I mean, he's shown the upside. I mean, I think he needs to show a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more in the maturity department, but
Sure. Yep.
he has the stats to back up why he wants the money. So another quarterback
Yeah.
to talk about here, Lamar Jackson is apparently working with a mechanics expert this offseason. And my first thought is just like, if it ain't broke, like don't fix it. Like I don't think he's a terrible passer. Like just play your game, man. Like I feel like
Uh,
if you mess with that stuff too much, like you I compare it to like uh I play frisbee golf. Disc I say frisbee first so that people understand what I'm talking about because like when you say disc golf, sometimes people think you're saying disco. Uh, and like for years, for years, I tried to like change my form so much, and it like
uh,
ruined my throw. And when I just got back to like just doing
sure.
what felt good to me, because everyone's body is different, uh, it worked out better for me. So like I don't like to hear this type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to come out every year about Lamar that he's working with some throwing coach to make him a better thrower, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't change anything for me with Lamar. He's a spectacular athlete and a spectacular runner. I don't think he's that great of a thrower. As long as he has Mark Andrews, that's the only guy you want as his pass catcher. In my opinion, I don't care about Rashad Bateman. The only reason I think Marquise Brown put up his wide receiver 2 season this past year was because of the Dobbins and Gus Edwards injuries, and they weren't able to run the offense like they normally would run it.
Yeah, I think Lamar is a good passer in the sense of like outside of the pocket passer. Like when he can get outside of the pocket and
Mm-hmm.
find somebody, like he's perfectly fine. It's when he's has to stay in the pocket and make a read
Yeah.
and then go like to the sideline. That's when it gets a little sketchy for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is
And
definitely a great improviser.
I'm probably higher on Bateman than you, but I tend to agree. Like I want Andrews, and I don't know. I mean, I'm even a little bit worried that Andrews is a little bit overvalued right now.
He could be. He's got a massive target share though, and then any tight end premiums.
Yeah, no, and just with Hollywood departing, even like reinforces that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So your boy Travis Etienne is reportedly a full go for OTAs.
Yeah, that's exciting. As exciting as it can be. I'm a little worried that it's going to become a running back by committee. That's kind of always been the Doug Peterson thing. But as of right now, it's what Travis Etienne, Snoop Connor, uh, and we probably won't see J Rob this year. I don't think anyway, unless he has an Akers type recovery. But you can't imagine that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going into the playoffs and they're gonna suit him up for anything, in a meaningless season. So I
Yeah,
think it
I
could
mean,
be ETN.
the, what ETN is an obvious like athlete, but what like worries me about him are similar things that, and it's ironic that his head coach is Doug Peterson now, but the worries for him were similar to me like as the worries of Miles Sanders. Like I know he's super explosive, super athletic, but like is he going to be a good NFL running back as far as like scheme and being able to navigate holes and stuff? I just
Sure.
those are my concerns. I'm not like super concerned about it, but I'm just saying those
Right.
were my initial concerns, and I'm happy to see him full go because I really want to see what he's got, and
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't have any shares, and I'm gonna feel really bad if he goes crazy and I didn't get in because I mean when you go back and watch him at Clemson, man, like just running people over and then
Yeah.
running away.
Yeah. He is so
Flash.
explosive. I can't. I'm excited to see it. But yeah, I'm not gonna go out and acquire any more Travis Etienne than what I already have. Just because of concerns with the franchise and the direction of the team, blah blah blah. Um, but yeah, it was very exciting to see that news come across on there because I didn't actually see it anywhere until I checked the show doc, and that gave me a good smile for the day. So
It definitely made me feel more comfortable with potentially him being in future deals in the next coming week.
sure.
For me, I gotta ask now since it came to my mind, which franchise are you more comfortable with? Commanders or the Jaguars?
Oh my gosh, good lord. Let me really sit here and think about this. You know, I want to say the Jaguars actually. I really do because when Carson Wentz came into the league, he came in and took it by storm with Doug Peterson. He's got Travis Etienne there. He doesn't have much for wide receivers, but I could see them being better than the Commanders. I just can't get behind it. Ron Rivera, I love when he takes the gambles and stuff. But Carson Wentz is he's not a good quarterback to lead that team.
You got to think about that division with Philly loading up on the offensive side now, and
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, being pretty good on
Mm-hmm.
both sides of the ball. So, got to definitely factor that in. It's like I feel like the NFC East is like the bad version of the AFC. Which division is it with the Chiefs,
Oh, the
Broncos?
West, the AFC
Yeah,
West.
it's like
It's like
like
the B movie version.
it's like the slow cousin of them.
Oh man.
Uh, but another non-news stupid thing, but it's a segue into the next thing that we're going to talk about is Nick Foles signed with the Colts as a backup or third string, whatever he's going to be. He's trash.
Yeah.
He's washed up. Like, doesn't matter. So that can lead us into your defense of
Here it
your Matt
is.
Ryan pick that Payson and I brought up on the last podcast.
You
Well, it
guys
was
are
live.
not the only ones.
You picked
Yeah,
live when
oh, I picked it live.
I'm pretty sure when we were podcasting, I heard the beep from Sleeper, and then I looked over at you taking Matt Ryan in the fifth of this 14-team Superflex. Start three running back, start four wide receiver startup that we're in that we've been talking about for the last couple episodes here.
Sure.
So
Sure.
your defense of your Matt Ryan pick. Payson says it's indefensible. He wrote that in
It's
the sheet.
completely defensible, Payson. I can defend anything that I want to defend and spit out bullshit for it. I can swear on here, right? Doesn't matter.
I'm trying to keep it family friendly.
Oh,
That's
that's
what
right. Family friendly.
kick it
BS.
in.
I can
Hey,
spin the BS.
as long as they call for the first 5 minutes the nice boy clock. So if
Oh, okay.
one
We're
slips
good
out
then.
after that, I don't want to make it a habit, but if one slips out, it's all
Sure.
good.
Sure. We're good.
I did it last episode.
Did you? I
Yeah,
must not even have caught it. Wow.
I said I
What are
was
you
like
yelling at me about? What are you talking
Esther, and
about?
then I was like, wait, stuff.
Okay, so Matt Ryan, I took him in the fifth round. I did do that. That did happen. Here's the other context that nobody else will tell you when they give me crap for doing this. He was quarterback 23 off the board in the fifth round. Derek Carr and Tua went in the second round. Wow. Not going to do that either. Tom Brady went 10 picks before Matt Ryan. I wasn't pulling that trigger, that's for sure. But the funny thing is about the Brady pick is is that is what kind of set the timer off for me that I needed to take a quarterback, because if I didn't take Ryan, it was going to be Tannehill or Wentz as my QB2. And I think they all honestly have a very similar trajectory, and I don't want to trade for a quarterback in this league. No way, no how. And we are kind of trying to toe the line of competing and staying a little bit youthful on there. And I think Matt Ryan gives us a couple years of some solid QB2 play.
I
Defended.
I still just don't.
Rebuttal.
I still just don't like it. Like I would rather
I
have.
didn't like doing it either, but man, at quarterback 23 in the fifth round, like,
I'd
and the
rather
way
take Wentz or Daniel Jones upside over him.
There's no upside. There's no upside to those guys. It's the same thing. If they're lucky, they play as long as Matt Ryan does in the next 2 to 3 years. If they're lucky. If
But
Daniel
that's
Jones doesn't perform, he's got to go find a Mitch Trubisky job, who's already going to lose his job like 3 games into the season to Kenny Pickett. So no thanks. Carson
see
Wentz is looking at the same thing.
part of the reason why I'd rather take the risk on those guys is partly because I think Matt Ryan's kind of like noodle arm done. Like I know he didn't have wide receivers last year, but I don't have faith in the guy. I don't
I don't know.
know.
I think the offensive line will be good enough, and I think he can put up good enough numbers to be a QB2. Like, I'm not out here banging the table. Matt Ryan is a QB1 still. Like, did it feel great taking him? Hell no, it didn't feel great taking him. But quarterback 23, we were looking at a situation of putting Wentz or Daniel Jones onto my roster. And I know you love Jared Goff. I don't love Jared Goff because I think he's in the Wentz, Daniel Jones territory of
I don't
looking
love
for
it.
a bridge. Yes, you do. You do love him, Newts. You do. I've heard you love him.
I love the weapons around him. I wish it
Yeah.
was somebody else there. I wish it was T-Law in
hmm
Detroit.
I wish it was too. I was last year. I was like, maybe we should trade for Tua or something, guys. Maybe we should do that. But then, like, I don't even know if I want Tua.
Not Tua. I
Definitely
mean,
not.
I
Definitely
wish
not in the second round.
I wish Detroit would have ended up with T-Law.
I know.
Gosh, imagine him with those weapons there.
I'll just.
So wait, okay, so this is transition into we're gonna talk a little bit about this the GOAT startup continued that God stop that.
Is your cat playing the drums now?
He he knocked over the I almost dropped the F bomb there. He knocked over the he knocked over my little you know how like they have those circular lights to like
Yep.
give you more light. Like this my girl had one for like making videos
Uh huh.
for our business and like so I use that on the side here and then my cat's laying right here and he's like
Oh, nice.
um so transitioning into the talking about the goats league startup continued we're still not even close to done yet uh
No.
it's gonna be brutal it's getting brutal right now and it's in the 12th
Yeah.
round but I got a bone to pick with you with your
Go ahead.
Washington. Why'd you take Brian Robinson in the 11th round?
Because he's the RB1 there. Duh.
Okay.
Well,
Over Al.
it's start three running backs, man. And like you said, I mean, hold on, let me pull up the draft here. Let's see who went immediately after him. I was looking for a little bit possible, guy I could sell if he does pop off. Let's see.
It was Ronald Jones and then a run of wide
Right.
receivers and then
I'm
Isaiah
not
Spiller.
I'm not
I can't
taking Ronald Jones. I'm not taking Rondale Moore. I'm not taking Kenny Galladay. I thought about Thielen just because we're trying to compete a little bit, but at the same time, like even if Thielen puts up another, spectacular season, can you get a second for him?
how
Probably
come you don't
not.
want to take Jimmy Garoppolo?
Jimmy
Need a second.
Garoppolo.
He's gonna play somewhere.
I'm sure he will, but I mean, I've been roasted for a week now about Matt Ryan. I don't need to draft Jimmy Garoppolo and get roasted for that one too.
I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo has been an NFC championship and Super Bowl quarterback.
So is Jared Goff.
Yeah, and then Jared Goff went in round 9 to one of the best teams in the league.
Is that your team? Did you take him?
Yeah, yeah. I felt pressured, man. It was between him and Davis Mills. I was like, I
That's
need
what I'm saying. That's what happened with the Matt Ryan pick. I saw Brady go, and I'm like, oh, shoot, we're going to be in trouble if we don't do it now. That was my exact thought process.
well, my whole problem was like I wanted Daniel Jones because I do even though he's been troubled, like I still believe in the upside of I think he has everything to get it done and just needs to clean his game up a little bit. And I thought for sure he was gonna make it. And I traded up to the 7-14 pick. And sure enough, like John takes him at 7-11. So then I was stuck. I still felt good about it though. I still felt good about taking Gasicki there because like I feel like it's a pretty big teardrop from Gasecki to maybe not Komet. Maybe people are viewing Komet in the same or a higher tier
Oh,
than Gasecki,
up,
but
up, up, up.
he's never done anything really yet. So
Hey,
and
put it on the show sheet, and I'll find my research on Komet when Justin Fields starts. And I want to say it's like a 25% target share, like Mark Andrews volume.
yeah, I mean, but it's still a projection at the end of the day. Like, he still hasn't
Oh, it
done.
is.
What about Noah Fant though? Because Noah Fant was the next tight end.
Yeah, I acquired some Noah Fant when he got traded to Seattle. I still don't hate Noah Fant because nothing got worse for Noah Fant. Drew Lock was his quarterback before. Drew Lock is still his quarterback now, so it didn't really change. Um, just the scenery. Um, but yeah, I don't mind Noah Fant.
What? So, but in regards to Gesicki,
Oh, I think. Let me check my tiers here. I don't know why I don't just do it on my phone. It's way faster than my piece of junk computer. Um, so I have Fant right above Gasicki in the same tier.
okay. Yeah, it's tough because like part of the reason why I picked Gesicki is like I've never really been a Gesicki truther, but like if that offense is going to evolve and get better and attention is going to be drawn to Tyreek and Waddle, you got to think Gesicki's going to be open,
Sure.
and he's so
Yeah.
big, so athletic, 6'6", 247, ran like a what 4.4 or something.
Mm-hmm. And what
So
they franchise tagged Gasicki, correct?
yeah, so he could be in a new situation after this year, especially with paying Tyreek that type of money. And
Yeah, I would be looking more for a new situation because I don't think Gesicki is the tight end for that offense. I think they're going to want the George Kittle, TJ Hawkinson type of guy get in the dirt and pass block as well. And Gesicki's more of just a huge slot receiver. So I think he'll see his way out of town and we can hope for a better and brighter future.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I just think there's gonna be some sort of hyper. He's a player that I picked with the intention of moving. So
Hmm.
we could jump into your some of your thoughts on this startup, though. If you want
Sure.
to go into
Well,
those.
first of all, TJ took Amon-Ra St. Brown with my pick that I traded away.
Mhm.
I don't even, there's been so many trades. I don't know who he got it from or who I traded it to. I probably traded it to JB because it feels like me, JB, and White Knight were like our only trade, or JB was our only trade partner for a while there. And I'm pretty sure TJ's probably wants me to overpay for him. So I took Njoku later because I know he likes Njoku. So TJ, if you're listening, come get Njoku.
Mhm.
Zeb's a wizard in a startup. Dude had 3 picks in the fifth and the sixth, but he took Ryan Tannehill right after I took Matt Ryan. So we're going to have to ding him for that one. It's going to be really fun to watch JB and McSpanky's teams grow. I really, I'm a big fan of building like that. That's kind of why I brought White Knight in because I didn't want to compete with these guys in who can tank the best. Um, and Dan really does send some really wild offers. I hadn't been in a league with Dan before. He sends some crazy stuff. You got to pay attention, man.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
6 tab every time.
yes, the fab's all real. All the stories you hear are real. It's great. I was so happy. And then I also have down here maybe if Mitch would share a quarterback, I wouldn't have to take Matt Ryan in the fifth round. That would be nice. I was targeting Kirk Cousins. He went earlier than I thought. Mitch took him earlier than I thought he would go. And now we go into my Jalen Hurts rant. I'm just kidding. I don't have a Jalen Hurts rant for today. You guys can like whoever you want. I don't
I
like him though.
thought I thought it was way too high at the 204 to take him over Lance Fields to a car. Like
That's where
I
Mitch
don't want
took Cousins?
no Hurts.
Oh,
Hurts
okay. Yes.
204 over Lance Fields to
Way
a
too high
Derek
for me.
Carr. I mean, would you rather have Kirk Cousins or Jalen Hurts?
Oh my goodness. Hmm. Give me Kirk Cousins.
That's what I
I'll
was
take
thinking.
I'll take the security.
It's
Jalen
close.
Hurts. Yeah, it is close because Jalen Hurts is going to have an awesome season. Like I know I talk really negatively about Jalen Hurts, but that's just because of his job security and the style in which he plays the game. I don't know if he's very long for the NFL. I don't know if he's just maybe a little flash in the pan that we have.
I will say about Zeb's team is that it is kind of sketchy, even though it's like it's good, but like if Barkley doesn't work out, if Kamara gets suspended, If the Bears offense is bad, he has David Montgomery as his third running back. Jameson Williams as his wide receiver. What if he doesn't come back on time? Cooper, what if Watson's suspended?
I will agree on the JMO pick. That one kind of confused me that Zeb took because, like you said, what if he's not back? And like you just listed off his running backs, Saquon, Kamara, and Montgomery. Like that's on the verge of almost going downhill. He does have Zeke, Renfro,
Yeah.
but I
I think
thought the J.
Woods though, because I thought he had Akers as well, but he must have, or that I must be thinking of someone else.
He may no. I think he must have traded him because he did take Akers because it was before me. I want to say because we were targeting him at our next pick where we took Olave. See you, Newts.
I'm here. I'm here.
I know.
Trying to get out of there. Yeah, I hate my team.
Yeah,
I like my team, but it's just like such a deep league that I hate it.
oh my gosh! Like
If all my bets, pay off, then my team's gonna be sick. But it's just, are they? Are they going to? I think Hall and Walker are gonna work out for sure. T-Law is still a little bit sketchy, but I don't know.
I was mad at you when you took Kenny Walker. White Knight's a big Seattle fan, and I'm a big Kenny Walker fan. We had that locked in.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, we were going Kenny Walker.
Yeah, he wasn't making it there.
Mm.
And T. Higgins right in front of you too.
Yeah, man. You guys crushed me. I took Dobbins from JB though, so that's mostly what I've spent this draft doing now because everybody's been taking my guys that I want, and I'm like, you know what? Because I did it to TJ for Njoku. That's why I took Dobbins. I know Mitch likes Crowder. Not enough to trade for him or anything. I just know he likes. But yeah, got a lot of
And
hate for my Goddard pick too, because if you don't like Jalen Hurts, you can't like Dallas Goddard because that's like a big thing apparently. I don't know. I thought that was weird. That was a weird argument. Strange flexes on me there, but go ahead, do your thing.
I knew he wasn't gonna make it back to me. I think I was trying to trade up at that point, but like you got Olave at the
Oh
5.
yeah,
That was a
yeah.
good pick.
I was excited about that one. I wanted a youthful wide receiver that I think can also immediately step in and produce, and I think he's going to provide that for us.
So I was looking at Winston because he had a knee injury last year, I think ACL, right?
Yes, yes.
And then coming back, and if you look at his healthy years on the Buccaneers, Winston is like a 4,000 yard, 24 touchdown guy.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to hope that he steps it up from that, or we got to hope that Michael Thomas is out of here if we
I
want
think Michael Thomas is out of there.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's hope. I mean, you can say you think, but we don't know for sure. So let's hope.
Some
And
would question if I even think.
I am up in 6 picks. And can you guess who is top of my queue?
Oh, it's Zamir White.
You son of a gun.
I've been looking at him. I've been staring at him all day. I was like, should I take Zamir here?
Who's number 2?
Oh, geez. Now you're really going to test me, aren't you? Hold on. Let me see here. Zamir. Give me a position. Give me a position.
No, that gives it away.
Ah. Okay,
Quarterback.
hold on. It's a quarterback? Oh, Garoppolo?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
Okay.
you're gonna start somewhere. It's 14-team league.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't want to trade for a quarterback. We traded our 24 first too. That was probably a dumb idea.
Wait, no, but you kept your 23, didn't you?
We did keep our 23. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In case this goes under, maybe we can get a quarterback.
That's in your 23s. 23. I'm gonna laugh my
Hey,
ass off. 23 is garbage.
So
than
it's not.
here
I get
and
what you're saying. It's not even me. It's me just looking at where the market wants to value those 23s. That's why I want to have 23s. I don't even necessarily want to make all the picks. I just want to see what kind of offers I can get on these picks. I want to see what you're going to give me. That's why I want 23 picks.
absolutely. I'm just teasing you a little bit.
Oh yeah, I know.
So yeah, we spent a lot of time on the news stuff, and I didn't have a whole lot of points because we're still ongoing in the startup, but we're gonna do a Dynasty League breakdown of this one once it's all said and done. So that'll be
Sweet.
fun.
That'd be fun. Yeah,
But I think that's all I got for tonight.
I think
What
so
about
too.
you? Okay.
I don't have any
So
words of wisdom.
we can go ahead and get out of here then. Thank you guys for listening. I am just going to run down real quick again. Please, guys, go on Apple and leave a review. Hopefully, it's a good one. I will read it at the top of the podcast and the announcements. And if you're on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. We would greatly appreciate it. For Newts, for Ronald Cavalier, have a good night
See you guys.
or day, whatever time of day you are listening to.